Yes, because my claim here is that the difference that makes the difference is really the insights, not so much the way you got there. So my claim would be that irrespective of method, when people do change, there is often a shift in perspective or some sort of insight that the client has had. And if you can organize around that, then you can do that irrespective of method, so to speak. There's something really just to tell a quick story to kind of illustrate this point. I think we so often forget that it's not what we say, it's what the client hears. And what the client hears may or may not have much to do with what you think you've said or intended to say. And one of my favorite examples of this is a woman I worked with probably 12 or 13 years ago for panic attacks and anxiety, and she had a remarkable change. And I spoke to her later and I said, what was it about the sessions that made the difference for you? And she said, oh yeah, yeah, I remember clearly the moment it changed. It was the moment when you said X. And I can't remember what she claimed I had said, but I knew immediately. I had never said that. I never said anything remotely close to that because that's just not how I think. It's not my vocabulary or way of. But I just went, well, that's good because I didn't want to. That's what she heard, and it was useful. And then I worked with her a few years later for another issue, and once again we were successful, and once again we had the follow-up interview where I said, what was it this time? And once again she said, oh yeah, it was the moment you said this, and I realized this. And once again, I'm completely sure that I never said anything close to anything that she heard. But it was what she heard that made a difference to her. And I think people sometimes change and they have insights that we have not intended or meant. And very often too, in sessions, once people quiet down enough and they kind of get access to their own, let's call it inner wisdom, like the levels of noise are reduced. They can often get access to insights and perspectives that are a great match for them, which we would never have necessarily suggested because we're not them and we're not in their particular life context.